Thousands of protesters have taken to the streets of the Venezuelan capital Caracas to show their anger at President Nicolas Maduro's decision to change the constitution. Opposition supporters have been demonstrating the decision since Monday. The government says that recent protest-related violence and the opposition's unwillingness to hold talks left Maduro with no choice but to make constitutional amendments. Well, the journalist Juan Carlos Lamas is covering this story for us. He says the ongoing conflict between the government and opposition groups is crippling the country's economy.
There are still some clashes between the national police and opposition protesters. The opposition leaders completely rejected the decision of President Nicolas Maduro to create a new constitution and a new assembly here in Venezuela. They say that this country is under a coup d'etat. Early today, we saw how the national police used tear gas and wooden bullets and water tanks to stop opposition protesters from reaching their final destination, which was going to be the headquarters of the National Assembly, which it is controlled by the opposition. But this is not only happening here in Caracas, it's also taking place in other areas of the country where there are some localized lootings as well. So far, according to the authorities, 31 people have died and hundreds have resulted injured and more than 1,000 arrested during the latest clashes between the national police and opposition protesters. And opposition leaders say that the Venezuelan government is just trying to keep Maduro's party and the president himself in power, and that they will continue protesting until the constitutional order in Venezuela is restored. There are some groups of people that have been creating some chaos, and President Nicolas Maduro has said that the opposition demonstrations are aimed at generating chaos here in Venezuela. But the thing is that the real chaos happening right now is between the clashes, during the clashes between the national police and opposition protesters. Now, experts here in Venezuela say that Venezuela has reached to a point where the Venezuelan government and the opposition should come with a project to solve the current crisis, because if the government and the opposition continue blaming each other for Venezuela's current crisis, the dire situation of the economy in Venezuela will continue, which is actually getting worse, with people facing extreme unemployment and extreme shortages of water, food, and other basic staples, and spiraling crime rates and one of the highest levels of inflation.